Hey everyone, welcome to our newest video for this week. My name is Dimitar and I am from the Dimitrov Boulay piano duo. This week, something has been on my mind and I wanted to talk to you about it in our video. What was on my mind was quitting piano playing. It's not about me. I'm not going to quit piano because I really love it, but we've met a lot of people with Elvira in our lives. We've had a lot of different clients who a lot of them continue playing piano for the rest of their lives, but we've had our fair share of people who, and I'm sure many other piano teachers as well, who meet a lot of people who start piano playing and after some time that they stop. And this has been on my mind because we often see a pattern with Elvira. We see people who start very enthusiastically and at some point they just stop. And we always wondered why does that happen? Now we see very often a pattern. First of all, I want to tell you that it happened many times to me, to myself. I wanted to stop with playing piano many different times. I thought many times I hated it from the bottom of my heart. I didn't want to do it anymore. Elvira as well, she's had that as well. And I know of a lot of other people. I recently watched even an interview with a very popular Bulgarian gymnast who actually is gold medalist and wins different medals, and she's so good. She mentioned in the interview that she wanted so many times it came to her mind the idea of stopping with gymnastics. Now, that doesn't happen only with professionals, it happens with a lot of other people as well. And so I saw a pattern, and the pattern is this, that very often people don't want to stop piano playing because they hate it, because they really don't love the sound of it, because they're really tired of it. But very often the pattern is different. The pattern is they encounter challenges, they can't overcome those challenges, they block, and they think they don't like anymore playing piano. It's very rarely that we would ask somebody, why are you quitting? And they would say, I really hate it. I really personally hate it. I have completely fallen out of love with piano playing and I don't like it anymore. So that doesn't happen very often. More often the pattern is piano playing becomes difficult, you have certain challenges and you can't overcome those challenges and you want to stop. I want to tell you that if it ever happens that you really stop loving something, you and I both know that it's not a problem to stop. It's not a problem to quit something that you are not passionate about anymore. But if you think that you don't love it, and actually you do, and you miss it after that, you have to reconsider why you're stopping. And you have to change something about your behavior, something about the way you do things, because you're going to quit the next thing you're going to pick up in life. What we see very often with Elvira is that people have the wrong attitude towards piano playing and the wrong practice habits. Those are the reasons, or two of the major reasons why people quit. First of all, for me personally, I think I can't say which is more important, attitude or practice habits. I would put them just equally up there. I think the main thing for me is improper way of practicing. I would probably go with that as first, even though I really can't say which is more important, but let's say they're both important. I would say first I would mention the improper way of practicing. If you don't practice well, you're going to get all the wrong feedback, all the wrong information. You're going to really convince yourself that you're not making progress, that you're not good enough, that you don't have any talent, that is just not the right instrument for you. So if you don't practice well, improper practicing leads to improper playing. That's guaranteed. That's just 100% guaranteed. So if you want to get the right feedback and really know where you are with your piano playing, if it's going well or if it's not going so well, you have to practice properly. Otherwise, you're not going to get the results you expect. And so when you don't get the results you expect, if you don't ask yourself the question, can I change something? You just don't have to go into the, I hate it, I sound horrible, I'm super bad at this, there is no point continuing. That leads to attitude, right? So it's a combination. That's why I said it's a combination between the two. So you are having bad habits, you are just not working well, you're not practicing well, you're getting the wrong feedback, you're not asking yourself any questions, and then you think that you suck. That's not true. So we come to the attitude. You should not think all the time and analyze if you're slow, if you're fast, if you're talented, if you're too old, if you're too wrinkled, if you I don't know what. So make sure that you change your attitude. You know, if you think that you don't sound very well, that may be true, but that doesn't mean that you can't change that. That's why I said that they're very connected, attitude and proper practice. Instead of saying that you are bad, that you are not, it's not worth continuing anymore because you are just so bad at piano playing, you can also ask yourself the question, but why am I sounding like that? Can I change something? Talk to your teacher, and then you will be able to change something with changing your practice attitude, your practice habits. That's why I said that they're interconnected. You can separate practicing habits, good practice habits, with good attitude. And I generally wanted to tell you that attitude is important in anything you do. What I notice very often with myself, and I see it with a lot of other people as well, is very interesting. We have more or less good attitude or stable attitude with something that we are obliged to do. Like, for example, showing up for our job, school, whatever, because we know there will be consequences. With things that we have no obligation to, like piano playing or other hobbies, we don't, very often I see that we quit them because we don't have good attitude. So you have to have good attitude also with your hobbies, the same way you have an attitude with your obligations. Of course, it's on a different level. You don't have to do it as much, you don't have to work as hard there, but you have to have the same good attitude. You have to just, it's inevitable, you have to go finish your practice, or you have to go and do it properly, and then you will always see positive results. You always progress forward. So approach your hobbies, like playing the piano, the same way you approach your job, just with much lighter attitude and with much less time spent there. Even if you practice 15 minutes, go and do it properly, because if you go and work for somebody, right, you show up at your job, you don't go, you work many more hours, but we separate that, we separate the time you spend, but you go there and you do a proper job because you know that there will be consequences if you don't. The same is with piano playing. Do it properly, do it the way your teacher tells you, and you will see that you will get nice results. But you need to have good attitude there as well. You need to have a strong character and say, okay, I'm going to do it properly because my teacher said so. My teacher said that it's going to work that way, and so I'm going to do it the way he suggests, and you will see that you will progress. And at the end of the day, do you want to quit anything when it gets difficult? I mean, that would be a shame, right? You are going to change 1,000 instruments, you are going to change 1,000 hobbies. You will never ever be able to enjoy something with good quality, and it just doesn't work. Quitting all the time doesn't work, and so it's better to ask yourself the questions, why is it that I want to quit constantly? Here where the magic happens, here is where actually what I think can be very rewarding is when you are consistent in a proper way, good attitude and consistent with a good practice. The more consistent you are, the better results you're going to see, the better you will become, and the more fun piano playing becomes. Now, here is where the same thing in reverse is extremely unpleasant. The more inconsistent you are, the worse habits you have with piano playing, or anything else for that matter, the worse you are going to feel, the worse you're going to become. And it's very difficult at some point to reverse and go in the positive direction. That's why I wanted to make the video, because if you are a person who has been practicing for years with bad attitude, bad habits, you are going to be much more likely in the spot where you want to stop. And a person who has managed to accumulate some kind of a good momentum with good attitude and good practice habits, it's very unlikely that something will happen that will make them stop playing the piano. Anyway, I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to remind you with the video that you can change your attitude, you can change your habits, unless you hate the instrument. That's very unlikely. And so change your approach, change your attitude, change the way you practice, do it gradually, be stubborn, and you will see that in a couple of weeks and months, you will feel totally different with the way you are playing. Anyway, if you want to see videos about practice habits or practicing in general, you can check our YouTube channel. We have a lot of different videos now. You can also see our vlogs. We also practice together with Elvira on camera. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can help us grow this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.